Hey guys, Okami here, bringing you 2023 tutorials for Monster Legends. Now, I know there's a lot in the past, but I feel like there's a lot of new players coming to the game nowadays. And I feel like, just giving y'all some beginner tutorials just to kind of help y'all not only answer the questions that y'all have or the game, like how to get gold, how to get food, how to get gems, what's the best monster to go for my level, you know, questions like that. Today's tutorial is more or less going to be about how to get gold and food and my idea of how to go about it. So, as you can see highlighted with my mouse cursor, I have a nature habitat level 6. I'm on my baby account right now. With the nature habitat, you can hold up to 50,000 gold. And that's only on level 6. That's a pretty high amount of gold considering, let's say, a level 4 dark holds 40. But you're wanting to look for a monster that provides decent revenue per minute. In my opinion, starting out early when you're level 1 through 20, it's easier to start off with what's called a Pandakin farm. This monster right here is a Pandakin. You breed it with Treezard and Firesoar. You want to go for typically 2 to 3 runes with him. These things right here when you breed them. And it's just for when you're a higher level and looking for that higher gold revenue, you can apply what's called a team gold rune, which increases production for all the monsters in the habitat by a certain percentage depending on the level. The reason why I recommend Pandakin at such an early level for gold forms is because his revenue is probably one of the highest, per minute starting off. So typically what you want to do is just start in nature habitat, breed as many as you can. The runes really won't matter until you're about level 20, level 30. But you want to have at least, 2, 3, maybe even 4 nature habitats just full of Pandakins to help your gold production. Get it as high as possible. That way you're not only able to, let's say, go to this habitat for an example. Upgrade it, it costs 100,000. Well, starting off with that lower account, you're going to have a hard time getting to 100,000 every single time at a level 4 dark habitat. Level 5 right here, is 300,000. Only goes up the higher you go. Same for food, for example. You want to get these guys, these farms as, upgraded as possible. If I recall, the huge one should be it. See, big farm costs 500,000 just to get it to a huge farm. Right now I'm growing food, so let me just skip this to give you an example for food. So when growing food, you typically want to, get as much as you can for, however much. However, my ideal for that is you don't typically want to go for the highest costing one. Sure, it gives you the most, but let's say you also want to upgrade habitats. Or let's say you just got your first legendary monster, so you want to build a legendary habitat. Let's show you, for example, with a legendary habitat, it costs 2.5 million. Starting off, you're not going to have 2.5 million. Not unless you decide to put money into the game, or let's say you do nothing but Pandakin farms and sit there for, a day or two, maybe a few days, just to, grind up to 2.5. You're going to build a habitat, but where's the monster? So, for me, since I'm a little bit more up here on my baby account, I put a little more money into food, but I don't worry about it as much. What you want to do is probably go for the second highest, if not even the third highest, but typically the second highest. And this is just for the not huge farm. This is for the big farm. The starting farm, I believe you start off, I want to say right here. So you'd want to do sea grapes every single time until you either have enough gold to maybe pitch in for the higher one for the red tiger nut, or you can just keep doing sea grapes until you get it to a big farm, and then maybe skip red tiger nuts and go straight to fresh juggle peanuts. Just my opinion. For growing food, going the cheaper route kind of does help in the end, though, because you will uh, eventually need to build up that gold. As for gems, y'all ask about gems. I see a lot of new players asking, "Oh, how do I get gems? Can someone give me gems?" Well, I'll tell you right now, nobody can give you gems. Gems are this game's way of, using your own real life currency to have some in game currency that reflects that. My best suggestion for gems, especially start when you first start, you want to hold on to them. You really want to hold on to them until either A, you can put them towards a really good monster, or B, let's say like your hatchery, you're gonna want to upgrade it eventually, but it costs 100 gems. So save up to 100, maybe put it towards that. Can't You can't upgrade the breeding mountain. However, you can indeed buy one right here, the ultra breeding tree. All that is just it gives you an extra breeding habitat. So if you have more hatchery spots, you can potentially breed two different monsters and hatch two instead of one. The worker hut is for the when you upgrade the buildings. You see this number right here, 3 out of 3. I have 3 workers. So if I go and upgrade this legendary habitat, that will take one away. I'll have 2 more. So then, I can upgrade the water and upgrade the dark as well. So that would be all 3. So buying those, I believe the maximum is 5, unless you pay for the pass, which is another topic. But unless you buy the pass, your maximum is 5, so you'll be able to upgrade up to 5 things at a time. And yeah, eventually you're gonna want that as a higher player. Right now, just working up your account, you're gonna want to start off, with the bare minimum. You're gonna want to have to, just work with the 2, the 3, depending on however many you actually start with. I believe I already paid for 1, so I'm not too sure. That is probably the best way to start. Just in my opinion, a few, I guess opinion-made remarks. You definitely want to try to attend dungeons when you unlock them. Typically, these resource dungeons is where you want to go. And starting off, rune dungeons, these fire natures you won't be able to touch till you get a legendary, but the rune dungeons, the food and gold, and occasionally, this one's a legendary one, but there is an easy one that happened 2 days ago. The easy one is a gem dungeon. You want to try to attend those as much as possible. They do have decent resources for when you start the game. And as soon as you can complete these, as soon as you do these and build up and build up and build up, you will eventually get to where you want as a starting account. That's it for the dungeons. As for adventure map, my recommendation as a low level, you really don't want to touch this too much, seeing as I do have a higher account. I have a 145 account that I mostly play on. This adventure map provides a lot of XP and a lot of good resources. And yes, that kind of contradicts, you want to get really good resources for when you're really low. Yes and no. For me, it feels like it scales later on down the road when you start getting to these higher islands. It starts to scale to your level, or at least starts to scale to your reward system. So the higher you are, it tries to provide you that kind of rewards. Higher gold, higher food. The gyms will always be the same, and with that you're just wanting to save your gyms. So easy gyms with this mode, you do get a ton of XP eventually throughout the islands. You will level up super quick. The reason being for wanting to hold off on that as a low level is one, it seems like this game more or less tries to keep you playing by giving you better RNG the lower level you are. The lower level you are, the better RNG. Higher level you are, the game thinks, oh, you're more experienced, you know what you're doing. Even if you don't have as many good things as you would like, the game's going to think, oh, well, they're already well off. So we'll just let them at it. We'll take away their good RNG and we'll shoot in the water, essentially. As you can see, I'm only level 34 on this account. Again, this is my baby account, and yet I already have one of the mythics. I believe he was a PvP monster that you could obtain at the time, and of course I grinded for it when I was on this account to obviously get it, start off with at least a mythic at my level. Same with the legendaries. I believe I used this account on a team with my main account, and was able to farm eggs, hatchable eggs that you can get through events, through adventure map, through dungeons. These eggs eventually will drop. You can use them, and it's a free monster. Not guaranteed on the rune slots. You're not guaranteed. It's guaranteed a level 1. Some of the monsters you get from certain events, they'll even be ranked for you. So for me, I'm just holding on to them since I am a lower account. There is no need to rush, in my opinion. For that, yeah, that's just basic knowledge for you guys. Another start you could do is with these runes. Go to crafting. Let's say you're trying to get 3s, 4s, 5s, just a tiny bit quicker, and you're not able to constantly do 4 life runes, for example. See, I only have 2. Typically, if you want to at least have 3 for this trick, it's a pretty old trick. I think this has always existed since the game first launched, but it's called the 1-1-1-2 strat. So essentially, what you will do is put 3 of one level. So like 3 level 1s, and then you'll do a level 2. And then there's a chance, as you see, a 44% chance of getting a level 3 rune. But hey, you only have 3 1s and a 2. That doesn't, that math doesn't make sense. But yeah, this is just to give you a slightly boosted more chance of getting a higher rune for less of a cost. Granted, since I have a team rune right here and 3 regular runes, it has a chance of becoming a team rune instead of a regular rune. I'll go ahead and craft it just to show this as an example. See, it's 15 minutes, so I'm pretty sure that's a guaranteed level 3. Let's see if I can skip it. Yeah, see, it's a level 3 life rune just from the 1-1-2 or 1-1-1-2 strat. It's not guaranteed to work every time. As you saw, it does have a 44% chance. So you still have a 56 chance of not getting it. See, using all 3, you have a 100% chance, but you have 3. The higher the rune, the more it costs to do it. This works all the way up to, level 9 and 10 runes, but I highly recommend to just stick to doing it all the way up to at least level 8 or level 9, because you still do have a chance for it to drop. So let's say I do 3 level 1s and a level 3. It has a 30% chance of going to 4. See how the percentage drops. So that means it still has a 70% chance of either giving me a level 2 or a level 3 rune. I only have a 30% chance of it going up. So the higher the rune, the less of a chance of you have actually upgrading to the next step. So I'll go ahead and craft it for example. See, it only gave me 5 minutes. That means that it downgraded to a level 2 rune. That's, typically not ideal. It is a very high risk, high reward kind of situation. So if you really do want to go from 8, 9, and 10, try to get those really high runes when the opportunity arises. Just know that you are risking of downgrading a level. And with runes, the resources are pretty skim unless you're just collecting them constantly. That's so far with the runes. With the, let's go to the cell laboratory, for example. So I just crafted a mythic. I'm going to go ahead and hatch it just to get it out of the way. You go back to the cell, or monster lab. You can go to the shop. The shop, I recommend kind of just holding off. You really don't need to buy any of the cells right now. There will be events for mythics. Yeah, they'll be a little more costly with the gems. But unless you really, really want a monster, like let's say this Silotus. Let's say if you want Silotus. It's okay to buy at least one cell. When you're on a team, you can actually request, as so long as you have a single cell of one of the monsters, you can request cells. You have to have at least 80 before you can use these substitute cells. For legends, it's Elementium or these element cells. You have to have at least 80. Let me see if I have it with one. Yeah, you see, you have to have at least 80 of that monster cell before you can use substitute cells. For example, I can go to craft. I'll set it to legendary because that was a legendary monster. Scroll up to him. See, I can fill it up with either 20 Elementium to craft it, or I can fill it up with 20 of the fire cells and still make it up to 100. You have to have 100 to craft it. That only works with legendaries and below. Mythics and up, they want you to collect the cells through other means just to be able to get enough to craft it. Ranking is this, starting off, you're not going to really have to worry too much about ranking, but as you get higher up into, let's say, the PvP ranks, the higher levels, eventually ranking will mean something to you. Ranking, essentially, you will have to take one monster, for example, Pandakin. He's already rank 1. To make him rank 2, you have to get cells. In order to get cells for him, his specific cells for him, you have to breed extra Pandakins and extract them here in the monster labs. So when you go to extract, you pick one of the monsters that you have extra of. You have to have at least 2 of one of the monsters, or whatever monster you're trying to extract. So if you're trying to rank Pandakin, you have to have 2 of them. So when you have more than one of the same monster, you can extract it. Level 1, see, it rewards me 50 cells. When you level it up, for example, this is 15, it goes up a little more. So 7 extra cells for level 15. Typically, for me, you want to level the monster up as high as possible before extracting it. This is an epic monster, level 40. See, he gives me 70 cells. But as a level 30, he only gets me 65. That's how you rank up the monster. Once you rank up the monster, of course, its level cap will increase. See, making it a rank 2. Instead of it being level 80, it will go to 85. So it gets 5 extra levels being ranked up. That's just about it for the monster cell shop. There is a monster that cycles every time the store refreshes that sells for gold. Whether it's mostly a rare monster, I've never seen it become an epic or a legend that sells for gold. So with rare monsters, unless you're really wanting it for your monster library, or unless you just really want the rare, you don't have to buy it. you have these challenges that happen daily. And one of the challenges right here is buy cells at the shop. It only wants me to buy one cell. So I could just go to the monster shop, buy one cell, boom, the task should be done. Yeah, see, it is complete. These daily missions, I highly recommend to try to finish as much as possible. You don't have to do the optional mission ones. And with me being on PC, I wouldn't be able to do the video ones. I would have to go to my phone to even remotely do anything that involves videos. I highly recommend, getting completing all the daily missions, simply because this one right here, complete all daily missions. You get 2 of a legendary monster. That is actually a pretty decent one for when it was released. And then you get 3 gems on top of that. I mean, who doesn't want 3 free gems every week or every day? And then even doing these other missions, it gives you a gem for a reward. I believe one other mission does do that when you're higher level. So that's 4 free gems every day. And then right here, a resolute mission. Right now, with the New Year's event going on right now, you get these things called New Year's resolution chest. These are all the possible rewards in said chest. And, completing it every day, you get one of these chests, which also give you a chance to, get one of those kind of rewards, and then you get 10 coins on top of it. So 10 coins plus one of these rewards by chance. Well, that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if this tutorial helped, and I hope all of you have a good day. Bye-bye.